Like, I don't know what's going on with this fucking, I really, it's so hard. I need a, it's so hard. I need a, I don't know what the fuck I need. Like, but this shit is not holding on. So, anywho's, potatoes, tomatoes, whatever. It keeps dropping. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be one ghetto ass video recording. I'm gonna just set the phone down because, like, it's not really giving what it's supposed to give. And from this view, it just make me look like crazy. But oh well. I'm just trying to see if it'll stay up. Okay. So, I'm gonna do this quick tarot reading, okay? Because this girl made this video. And before I do the tarot reading, I want to say what my perception is of it. So, you know, men and women aren't that different from each other like they think, okay? So sometimes in order to understand why a person does something, you just kind of have to put yourself in their shoes. Now, if you've never experienced, sometimes it's hard for you to, you know, put yourself in their shoes until you actually, like, experience the shit, right? So, but anyway, so the lady asks, why do a lot of gorgeous or glamorous, I'm going to call them Barbies, okay? We're just going to call them Barbies, because being a plain Jane could easily be a glamorous chick or a baddie, or easily be you know, gorgeous. You know, I see that as like Barbie-ish, being Barbie, like dread, like you like to wear your weaves. Some of them don't wear weaves, okay, but you like to keep your hair done, you like to wear makeup, you're glamorous, you're a girly girl, you know what I'm saying? You like to dress nice, you like to wear your heels. Some women like to wear their kicks, but you're glamorous, okay? So that's what she meant. Like, when she said plain Jane, she's saying girls that don't really put effort into their looks. Like, they fucking look like they rolled out of bed. Like, they plain Jane. A plain Jane is not really ugly, okay? A plain Jane is easy on the eyes. That's what that means. A plain Jane is easy on the eyes. So, they're not ugly, but they're not highly attractive either. Like, they're easy on the eyes. Like, they're fuckable. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the highly attractive women, and keep in mind, a plain Jane can become a highly attractive woman if she puts effort into her looks. I want you to understand that, because the way we got plastic surgery today, we got makeup, we got all type of shit to enhance your aesthetic. So in any point in time, a plain Jane can become a baddie, or a plain Jane can become gorgeous, can become a Barbie. I'm going to use the term Barbies, okay? Barbies, girly girls, all right? So, from my own personal perception, because that's what I like to use now, from my own personal perception, I feel like guys cuff plain Janes because they feel like plain Janes don't attract a lot of dudes. So they don't feel like, or they feel like the plain Jane is going to appreciate them more, versus, because there's this assumption that the Barbies, right? There's this assumption that the Barbie chicks got the pick of the litter. The Barbie chicks, you know, can get whoever they want. The Barbie chicks, you know, is expensive. Okay, so a Barbie chick is associated with luxury. So you got to understand, okay, from a person who, decent guys aren't perfect. Decent guys have insecurities. Some decent guys can have low self-esteem. And a lot of time people go for what they think they deserve. Yeah, they may want that motherfucking Mercedes Benz, okay? Because keep in mind, a Barbie chick is associated with elitists. It's associated with wealth. It's associated with luxury. Okay, status. Okay, a Barbie chick. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of assumptions that come with being a glamorous woman, even if it's not true. Okay, even if it's not true, there's a lot of assumptions that come with like a glamorous woman. Now, you could fit some of those assumptions, and there's some of those assumptions that you can't, that you don't fit, because people are complex. Okay, people, you know, they're complex. They're not one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So the reason why decent guys cuff Plain Jane is, one, they have the balls enough to approach them or talk to them. Okay, they feel comfortable. The Plain Janes don't make them feel nervous. Like if he's around a really gorgeous girl, some of these guys, I've seen some of the most confident ass niggas. They get you know, a gorgeous woman get in her place, and it don't matter what social class she's from. A gorgeous woman is in his presence, and that motherfucker goes from a lion to a goddamn kitten. I'm not, like, different people have different effects on people, and you got to think about from a woman's perspective. When we see, well, from a woman's perspective, when we see something that we feel is out of our league, we're not going for that. You gonna go settle for the guy that is more your speed. A lot of women, they settle for guys that are more their speed, even though they really want the nigga that they feel is out of their league, that they feel like they can't get. People go for people that they feel they deserve. They settle. A lot of people settle. You know what I'm saying? So they don't go for what they perceive as out of their league. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same reason why a guy cuffs an average chick. Okay, and it's the same reason why cheating be like so at an all-time high. Because if you ever notice, when a guy, like, let's say, has a Plain Jane, right? And when he cheats, if you ever notice, he cheats with those glamorous girls. He'll tell you. That's why I say, don't go by what a man say, go by what he do. Okay, he'll say, oh yeah, I prefer Plain Janes or this and that, but then he cheats on his Plain Jane with motherfucking Barbies. Okay, and if you ever notice too, some of these dudes, that's why women got to be careful, because some women are placeholders. Even wives are placeholders. Okay, so the dude will go for you know, what he can get at the time, what he think is easy for him to get, what he think is obtainable. And all of this is really based on your self-esteem. This is all really based on your perception. So if you don't, but like players, if you ever notice, a lot of players, I know that there's a lot of bad shit talked about with players, you know what I'm saying? But there's a method to the fucking madness. A lot of players, you know, typically they get bored easy. They're looking for something. They ain't found it yet. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for that man, this is my woman type thing. They ain't found it yet. So until they find it, they're gonna play the field. Really, that's what a player is. They're gonna play the field until they find it. Now sometimes players do you know, drop the ball, like they realize too late, man, that was it. That was my person. That was it. Like sometimes, because they got too many energies going on around them. You know what I'm saying? That cloud their judgment. You know? But a player is more confident. They're more confident. They feel like there's nothing they can't have. So they go for bitches even out of their league. You know, they understand that the reward is greater than the risk. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of players are fucking bold. That's why a lot of beautiful women attract players. Because those men, they don't inhibit themselves. They don't have no type of, well, they could have low self-esteem, but they try to overcome fears, or they try to overcome, you know, their insecurities. They just go for it. There's people in life that just go for it. Unfortunately, that's the players. You see what I'm saying? Or men that, yeah, they believe the world is their oyster. There's no limitations. That's the one thing that I admire about the player, okay? That's the one thing. Like, they don't, but even if they type, they may get nervous. They may be a kitten, but they gonna pretend to be a motherfucking lion to get you. Okay? Like, you gonna want me, you gonna love me, you gonna be hooked. And they believe that shit. So you gotta understand that a player understands that the reward is greater than their fear, or is greater than their insecurity, or is greater than the rejection. They understand the reward is greater than the rejection because you never fucking know. You know what I'm saying? You never know until you try. A player understands that. So that's why a beautiful woman typically attracts guys that ain't shit, that are players, that play the field. And decent women, I mean, not decent women, and plain Janes attract or guys, decent guys cuff plain Janes because that's safe. A plain Jane is safe to decent guys. You know, they don't have that high confidence type of shit like a player. You know, they don't have that gift of gab like a player. You get what I'm saying? Like some decent guys, they have to grow on you because they're not always charming. You get what I'm saying? A player is damn near always charming because they believe they got the fucking gift of gab. That's why it's all about your perception. You know, this one man at my job, and I miss him so, he told me that people only go for what they think they deserve. So if that motherfucker feel like, we just gonna say plain Janes is Toyotas, okay? So if that motherfucker feel like he could never obtain a motherfucking Mercedes-Benz or a Lamborghini, okay, we're gonna say Barbies or Lamborghinis, Mercedes-Benz, they're luxury items. If he feel like he can, and I'm not saying women are items, so please, it's just an analogy. It's just, don't take it there. But if he feel he can't afford that luxury, that he'll never be able to get a Lamborghini, he'll never be able to obtain a Mercedes-Benz until he get to a certain level, till he get to a certain status. If he feel like he never gonna get there, he gonna go for what he feels he can get. What he feels is going to reject him, is not going to reject him. He's going to go towards the path of least resistance, and that is, or what seems easy, and that is the plain Janes. Okay? Now, I'm not saying plain Janes are easy, or plain Janes are, Build-A-Chicks, or Pick-Me's, or Toyotas. A plain Jane could very well be a Lamborghini, but I'm just saying based off of the outer and the perceptions and the stereotypes that go with your outer appearance. Guys do not see plain Janes as luxury items. They see them as kind of like low maintenance. They see them as something that's in their budget, as something that they can afford. You get what I'm saying? But the moment a lot of these dudes get to a certain level of success, they want to swap out they motherfucking plain Janes for a Barbie. You see what I'm saying? It's all about a dude's perception. And that's why I be telling women, don't make it easy for a guy. Keep your standards high. Because the only way that you know if that nigga really wants you is when you don't make it easy for him. You ask for the world, goddammit. Ask for the world on a platter. If that man say, nah, I ain't gonna get it, and he go on about his way, they'll tell you all you need to know. But if you make it convenient for a man, oh yeah, I'll pay 50-50. Oh no, you don't have to do that. Oh, and you doing everything for me. Oh yeah, I can build you up. I can help you make big money. Yeah, you helping him make big money for your fucking replacement. Like, girls gotta be careful. Then the ring don't mean shit either. You could be a placeholder, boo. You could be a placeholder. You could be a placeholder. But let me get to the tarot cards because I only got 30 minutes. So let me get to the tarot cards and see what they say. okay, about this, about why guys, yeah. And just to let y'all know, I am not saying that plain Janes aren't Lamborghinis and Mercedes Benz. I'm saying from the male's perception, a plain Jane is something. He feel like a lot of guys ain't going for her. Sometimes when you get picked by a dude, or when a guy comes to you, sometimes that's not a compliment. That's not a compliment sometimes. Sometimes when a guy choose you, that's not a compliment sometimes. Because sometimes niggas only choose you because you're easily accessible. They feel like you don't got a lot of options. So they don't got to worry about, having to ward off guys or stuff like that. It's just all about his perception, all about his perception of himself and his worth. So a lot of decent guys aren't always the most confident. Okay? They're not always the most confident. I'm going to pull a card so we can just, because I've been going on about my perception of this, because that's really what I think it is. Like, some niggas just feel like you're out of their league. So why the fuck would I live above my means? Like, let's just see a woman as a lifestyle. Why the fuck would I live above my means? Okay? But think of it from a woman's perspective. Like, there's a lot of pretty girls that be like, oh, I'm going to date the ugly guy because that's insecurity. Because they don't feel like they're good enough for a fine motherfucker. Or sometimes even a rich motherfucker. Okay? They don't feel like they're good enough to where he'll only be with her. He got to have multiple women. He's not going to appreciate her because he got to pick of the litter. Like, it's the same thing that women do. So you will see a lot of beautiful women with ugly ass niggas because they feel like that ugly dude is going to appreciate them the most. Like, the same as for the guy. It's all about perception. You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Okay, so I'm sorry. I had to do this sideways because I don't feel like fixing it. Spirits, but why do, can you tell me why do decent guys cuff plain Janes and not Barbies? Why do decent guys trust, plain Janes and not Barbies? Okay. And this also puts me in, look. We're gonna put that back. That was too many. Okay. Why do decent? Oh my gosh, y'all! It's so many. They just keep coming out, and it's like, give me one. Yeah. So if a guy feel like you out of his league, or he feels like you unattainable, sometimes they're not gonna choose you. They're gonna look over you. They're going to go for what they feel. They're going to go to the path of least resistance. Even if, they don't fucking, I'm telling y'all, guys can fake the funk a lot. But, let's go. Spirits, tell me, why do, decent guys cuff plain Janes and not Barbies? Tell me why. And then we're going to see what their perception is after this of plain Janes and their perceptions of Barbies. Okay. So, yeah, King of Pentacles, power, empire, stability, loyal, wealthy, patient and wise, secure, business, traditional, and discipline. So, the King of Pentacles here, and then the World card at the back of the deck. So, completion, travel, accomplishment, fulfillment, internal affairs, and immigration. The King of Pentacles is very like, very traditional, very earthy. Okay, so for some reason they see some type of like security or long-term stability with plain Janes, because the King of Pentacles is here. So this is what the deck is saying. The King of Pentacles too is very traditional man, very faithful, very loyal, and he could have money. He does very well for himself. He could be a workaholic at times with this King of Pentacles here. I feel like they sent some type of stability with Plain Janes more so than like they feel like the Plain Janes with the King of Pentacles here like are more stable, are more secure, are more loyal. Okay, because the King of Pentacles energy is very loyal, you know. And then the World card here represents success, completion, new chapters, closing out, you know, toxic cycles or whatever the case may be, fulfillment, internal affairs. Yeah. So I feel like guys may feel like that Plain Janes have more value, like that help them get shit done because of the World card and the King of Pentacles. So so they may feel like the trigger warning, okay? So they may feel like with this King of Pentacles and the World card here, so they may feel like that, you know, Barbie chicks are all about money, okay? Very materialistic, all about money. The World card here can also because I'm going to read these in reversals for the Barbie chicks, because I did ask why do they cuff Plain Janes and not the Barbie chicks. So they, like I said, they feel like that because the King of Pentacles reverse can represent corruption. So they could feel like Barbie chicks are you know, after they money or more. With the King of Pentacles here at the reverse, this could represent someone that's very materialistic, someone that is very unfaithful, someone that is you know, money hungry, money grubbing. This could also represent corruption. Okay, so they may feel like Barbie chicks are all about money. Okay, they may feel like Barbie chicks are unfaithful or slick, or like kind of like they'll go for the highest bidder. With the World card coming at the back of the deck, okay, they may feel like, because the World card here as a reversal, it represents stagnation, a period of stagnation, still going through some type of karmic cycle, and basically they just feel like they can't afford you. Like they feel like you're gonna break them, because the King of Pentacles too in the reversal, someone that got financial issues. Okay, someone that could be very, so they feel like you're gonna fucking empty their pockets, like you're gonna leave them broke. Okay, like they can't afford you. The World card though as the reversal represents unfinished business, represents lack of closure, represents you know, stagnation and stuff like that. So they feel like that they can accomplish more with a Plain Jane than they could a Barbie. I'm not saying that this is true, but this is what they feel. Okay, they feel like they can accomplish more with the Plain, because even with this King of Pentacles, Pentacles is about money, Pentacles is about status and earthly things. So they feel like they can achieve this with a Plain Jane. Like they don't feel like they can achieve this with a Barbie. Okay, so how do they perceive Plain Jane spirits? How do these decent men perceive Plain Jane spirits? So I feel like at the end of the day, like the decent boys, they kind of care more about like who you are more so than the outer. Okay, they kind of like, if they feel like you gonna give them drama, you gonna give them peace, you not gonna give them peace, you gonna be unfaithful, you gonna be like all over the place, or you gonna drain their wallets or something like that. Like a decent boy, they don't want to go for that. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to deal with that type of stuff. So it's but we gonna see. Okay, so they're kind of looking at what type of stability can you offer to them. But this is a traditional person, King of Pentacles. So they're kind of looking for like what type of stability from the woman's role is you offering them. You know what I'm saying? Like they may feel like You know, the Barbie chicks, you know, are into their looks, or they just want the money. Like, they just want to, you know, fucking sit around or something like that. Like, their work ethic is off. Because the King of Pentacles can also represent a work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Spirit. So how do they perceive Plain Jane, Spirits? How do they perceive Plain Janes? How do they perceive Plain Jane, Spirits? And you know, some guys too, they want to be the star of the show. Because I did see the star card. Okay, yeah. 10 of Pentacles. Inheritance, old money, tradition, marry into money, legacy, roots, windfall, business empire. I don't know if these Plain Janes have a lot of money, or because the 10 of Pentacles represents inheritance, represents, how do they see Barbie chicks, Spirits? How do they see Barbie chicks? So it's just like they kind of feel like that Barbie chicks may not bring them money, or may not multiply them money. Like, they just kind of see them as like takers. You get what I'm saying? They kind of see them as takers. Oh my gosh, I keep getting that 9 of Swords. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm back. How do they see, how do decent guys see Barbie chicks? How do decent guys see Barbie chicks? How do decent guys see Barbie chicks? So with the 10 of Pentacles, they just see something long term with Plain Janes. Because the 10 of Pentacles here represents, like, I don't know if like the Plain Janes have a lot of money, or they have some type of stability or something like that. So I don't know if they assume that Barbie chicks, I don't know why these cards keep dropping. Here's my thing about this, because it's all talking about money, and it's all like there's there's nothing here about love, nothing here about stuff like that. Okay, how do decent guys see so I feel like they see the Plain Janes as someone that they can build with, because it's 10 of Pentacles here. Yeah, they see the Plain Janes as something that can add to their money pot. Okay. Let's say, give me more here. How do they view Barbie chicks? How do decent guys view Barbie chicks? How do decent guys view Barbie chicks, Spirits? Yeah, so the 2 of Swords, like, 2 of Swords represents stalemate, indecision, truth, difficult choices, crossroads, torn between two, and denial. So the 2 of Swords energy is like this very guarded energy, okay? But it's also about having to make a decision, okay? So the 2 of Swords, 2 can represent here's the thing. 2 of Swords can also represent having 2 lovers. Okay. I feel like some of these guys have been hurt by Barbie chicks, like, in the past, because I got this 5 of Cups as well. So, like, I feel like some of these guys have been rejected or have been hurt in some way by a Barbie chick, or have been used by a Barbie chick, because even the 6 of Pentacles is here. So 6 of Pentacles can represent giving. So, like, maybe they were takers or something, like that's the energy. Like, they feel like Plain Janes are more trustworthy, or more you know, can help them build something or whatever. They feel like you know, the Barbie chicks with the 2 of Swords, you know, they always got backup plans, or they always got, because one thing I notice here is that with the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles here, like, they feel like the Plain Janes are more loyal. They feel like they're more loyal. Okay. With the pretty chick, they feel like, you know, oh, they don't have no money, or they don't have nothing to offer, or they they don't have no money, or they don't have nothing to offer them. You know, they just bring beauty to the table, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, it could represent. They feel like that they're always out there looking for more, because there's 2 of Swords here. So they could feel like, you know, a Barbie chick is basically, they gonna dip, you know, as soon as they find a higher bidder. Okay, they feel like the Plain Janes are more loyal, or more stable, or more secure. They're kind of like, because I see this too as somebody that's kind of like, so these guys might have something against party girls, because the 10 of Pentacles is very like work focused, very work focused. So a lot of these women could be very work focused. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if so he's looking like from a standpoint of, you know, who can I trust? Who's more grounded? Who do I feel is going to be most loyal? Who do I feel is going to help me get that motherfucking Mercedes Benz, or get that who's going to help me upgrade my lifestyle? Like, who's going to fucking support me while I'm out getting a bag? Since they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're looking at. So I feel like it's not really about looks, but I, however, do see that they have a bad perception of Barbie chicks. But I don't feel like it's about looks. I don't get this energy that it's really about looks. It's more so about your work ethic, or something dealing with work, something dealing with financial stability and security. And it's also more about like being like more, I ain't even gonna say being his piece, because all right, so let me see. It's just like, it's giving old lady vibes, like reliable old lady vibes. She gonna be there. That's my old lady. She gonna be there. You know that song, even when those hustling days are gone, she'll be by your side. That's what they feel about Plain Janes. Like, they feel like, you know, even when those rims start spinning and all those gold digging women disappear, she'll still be here. So they just feel like the old lady gonna be there. Whether he cheat, whether he whatever, she gonna be there. So they feel like she's stable, she's reliable, like she's going to value him. She's not looking for an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's like some real trust issues, because this 2 of Swords energy is like very guarded. So they're trusting more in the give me more about that 2 of Swords, spirits. Give me more about that 2 of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Wands. So they feel like, yeah, Ace of Wands, they feel like too many guys want you, okay? Because this Ace of Wands with the 2 of Swords here, it's like there's always a nigga. Like, they feel like this person always got a nigga, and they feel like with the 10 of Pentacles that this person, that the Plain Janes ain't on that. So the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Swords, so they may feel like the Barbie chicks is something nice to play with, but like, so why do they feel this way about the Barbie chicks? Why do they feel this way about the Plain Janes? Where is this coming from? Is this coming from a place of what? What is this coming from? Where is this coming from, spirits? Where is this coming from, spirits? Where is this coming from? Yeah, so they feel like you got too many sexual suitors. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these people A lot of these guys have been fucking burnt by Barbies or been rejected by Barbies. Or like, because the Nine of Wands represents ongoing battle, weary, tired, resilience, guarded, wounded, courage, persistence, and setbacks. So I feel like, and then look, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is kind of like an unattainable woman, okay, when it comes to love. But a lot of motherfuckers want her. And her sex normally be bomb as fuck. But a lot of motherfuckers want her. This is the Pisces card. Intuition, sensuality, mystery, secrets, wisdom, secrets, hidden dreams, and the unknown. Like, the High Priestess, like, I kind of call this the Rihanna card. Like, you know how, Rihanna, she fucking left her billionaire boyfriend because what? She was bored. Like, the High Priestess, she likes being on her own. The High Priestess is very unattainable, but a lot of motherfuckers want her. She's very beautiful. She's very, you know what I'm saying? And with this Nine of Wands here, so this is coming from a place of pain, a place of hurt. So I feel like they've been burned by Barbie chicks. Okay, they've been burned by bad bitches, by glamour dolls. You know what I'm saying? And it's that energy, like, let's say if you like thugs, okay? So a thug really fucking did you in. Like, really hurt you. Really did you in. Really brought you through the ringer. Because this Nine of Wands here represents being guarded. But the Nine of Wands can also represent a motherfucker that leaves you hanging on. Like a motherfucker that you're waiting, like that's taking you through the ringer. You're waiting for them to put you first. And they never put you first. Like, this person treats you as an option. Okay? And you're waiting for them to prioritize you, or like, so they've been done in, okay? They've been done in. They could have given they all to a Barbie chick or a glamorous chick and got cheated on, or she could have broke him or took a lot of his money or left him in some type of bind or some type of financial bind here, because the Nine of Wands is here. But if not dealing with finances, then they're like really hurt them. And they don't necessarily have to be a relationship. They could have dubbed their ass. Because the High Priestess is at the back of the deck. So they could have dubbed their ass. Like, no. Like, maybe they could have shot their shot before. No. Nine of Wands. No. Okay. So the Nine of Wands energy, though, like, yeah, it's coming from a place of hurt. So you could trigger as a Barbie chick, you could trigger their memory behind a Barbie chick that they once loved or once wanted or once whatever, and that shit fucked them up. It's just, think of it like this. I had a Mercedes-Benz before, or I tried to get a Mercedes-Benz, but the Mercedes-Benz broke down, did this to me, did that to me, cost me a lot of money. I had to dub it. Now I'm $1,000 in debt because of this motherfucking Mercedes-Benz. I will never get a Mercedes-Benz. From here on out, I'm getting a Toyota. Like, that's the energy. Like, who hurt you? Who drug you through the ringer? Okay? So, yeah, they're just kind of, it's like this jaded energy. It's this jaded energy. Give me more about that Nine of Wands. Give me more about that Nine of Wands. Give me more about that Nine of Wands. Yeah, so they kind of have their guard up, or they're kind of very hostile. I feel like they've been hurt by a Barbie chick, or could have even been something as simple as rejection. Yeah, look, Four of Swords energy. They're still holding on to some type of pain, because Four of Swords, this could represent on again, off again connection. So I feel like they be trying to, like, when they do get a bad bitty, when they do get a Barbie glamorous like chick, like, because the Four of Swords can represent on again, off again connections. It rest, recuperation, time out, meditation. It's like, I feel like this. It's as simple as texting. When I talk to this girl, she's in and out. She's inconsistent. So they're looking, I feel like the plain Janes are more consistent. So that's just kind of who they end up with. Like, I feel like the Barbie chicks with this Four of Swords energy here, like, they text them when they feel like it. Like, they barely get them the time of day. with the Four Swords energy there. On again, off again. That deals with communication. So I feel like the communication is inconsistent. And maybe the plain Janes, it's, you know, that energy where, like, let's say, you know how they say the person that you really want, like, they don't never do right, or they don't give you the time of day, but all these motherfuckers that you don't want is consistent, want to love you. It's like, damn, why can't the person I want do that? Like, it's that energy. Okay? So, in essence, they start talking to these plain Janes. These plain Janes give them consistent energy, okay? Text them back, talk to them for hours, and eventually these guys feel like, oh, I could build with this person. Oh, this person wants me. So it's just this energy of wanting what wants me. Wanting what wants me. Okay? So what's the advice? What's the advice to the decent guys about this situation? What's the advice about this situation? Six of Pentacles. That's Six of Pentacles. Wow, I knew that was gonna happen. So the Six of Pentacles energy for these guys, it's representative of generosity, of being more giving, or a need to be more giving. Because the Six of Pentacles is dealing with money again, dealing with finances. So the Six of Pentacles is, yeah, like this need to be more generous, okay? Be more giving, be more helpful or whatever. Now, it does forewarn you to, Six of Pentacles does forewarn you to be careful, because you don't want, people taking advantage of your generosity and not giving nothing back. Okay, so you want to make sure the same way you show up for this person, they show up for you. But because this is in the advice energy of needing to be more generous or needing to be more giving, I feel like the Six of Pentacles energy, there's this lack of generosity, or there's this giving with strings attached. Because as the advice card is Six of Pentacles, it's the Six of Pentacles. So I take that as like the reversal is what you're doing. Okay. So, you know, you got to give to get. Like, that's the energy. You got to give to get. You got to give to get. Don't give with strings attached. Maybe they could be giving with strings attached. Maybe they could be giving and expecting, like doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, they're not trying to be a good Samaritan. They're fucking could be giving money, but expecting something out of it. Expecting some type of exchange out of it. Okay? And when they don't get that desire that they want out of it, now they're bitter. Okay, so I really feel like this is very earthy energy. Okay, and earthy energy could be very money focused, and at times, sometimes earthy energy can also be very stingy. Now I find that maybe a lot of Barbie chicks, yeah, they're very stingy. I'm gonna say this, like, for a lot of earth sign men, before they give you a lot, like, you got to put in a lot of work before they even give you a dime. Okay, especially like this, the Capricorn energy. Tauruses, once upon a time is very fucking giving, but like when they've been done in for so much, they start to be stingy. So it's just like earth sign, the earthly energy, like they feel like they can get more bang for their buck with a plain Jane. Like, they feel like the Barbie chicks, for some reason, I don't know why, but they feel like with the Barbie chicks, like, they not gonna get nothing. Like, they gonna fucking get this girl this money, and for what? They ain't gonna get no pussy, they ain't gonna get no nothing. Like, why would I give this girl my money or do anything for this girl knowing I ain't got a shot? Like, that's their energy. So they're going to want to put more energy or more money or more resources towards something that they feel like they can get. And it all goes back to perception. So if you have the pick of the litter and they feel like they don't really measure up or they're not really there, yeah, they're not going to pick the Barbie chick, because I can't compete. You don't compete where you don't compare. Okay? So what is it really then, spirits? What is it really, spirits, for why what is it, spirits? What do you say it really is for why guys cuff plain Janes and not pretty chicks? What is it really, spirits? Yeah, temperance. So temperance represents compromise or meeting in the middle, or that's the Sagittarius energy. Jupiter, expansion. It could represent healing, meditations, being patient, stuff like that. But the temperance here, the temperance energy is like compromise, okay? So they may feel like that, once again, they can get more from a plain Jane than a Barbie chick. And I want to keep you in mind that there's no love cards here. Like, there's no love cards. No fucking, it's all earthly. There's no motherfucking emotional cards. Nothing about love in this motherfucker. And this right here, 4 of Cups is at the back of the deck. But 4 of Cups represents refusing offers, apathy, boredom, indifference, contemplation, missed opportunity, blind spot. 4 of Cups can also represent grass is greener type shit. Okay? So they feel like Barbie chicks have more options. Barbie chicks are less unwilling to compromise. Okay? Because this is all about compromising. Okay? Because you got to think the temperance card too is also about, can be about you pouring into a motherfucker, right? But they're not giving you that equal back. Okay, so now you gotta fucking, it's just, how can I, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? What are they looking for, spirits? What do these decent guys be looking for? What do these decent guys be looking for? What do these decent guys be looking for? Okay. Because the temperance card can represent a happy medium. So yeah, the Knight of Cups energy. Okay, so they're looking for love. So they're looking for love. They're looking for love. Okay. So, the Knight of Cups finally, a Cups card finally came out. So the Knight of Cups energy is, love. They're looking for love. They're looking for love. So they kind of feel like, yeah, look, the Empress at the back of the deck. They're looking for love. They're looking for a wife. They're looking for the main lady. Okay, that's what they're looking for. Yeah. So I feel like they just don't feel like they'll get much return on investment with a Barbie chick. Okay? Like, it's just this energy of, I'm pouring into this Barbie chick's cup and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring until I have nothing left, and her cup still ain't motherfucking full. So they kind of see the Barbie chick as like, yeah. They kind of looking for somebody where they feel like, because the 6 of Wands is at the back of the deck too with the Empress. So they kind of looking for somebody where they feel like, where they're the king, where they're it, where they're like a woman that sees them and looks up to them. A woman that sees them, and I feel like it's not really about looks. It's not really about looks. Like, it's about ego. That's the Leo energy, right? The 6 of Wands is the Leo energy. It's about ego. It's about dominance. It's about this person making him feel like he's king. Six of Wands. This person kind of following his lead. This person like looks up to me type of energy. So like really that's what it is. It don't really have nothing to do with looks. Okay. Now if she's drop dead gorgeous, that's great. But like this person is looking for a woman that is willing to compromise. Like they're looking for a woman that makes them feel like they kingpin. And I feel like sometimes when you are a Barbie chick, you instantly all right, trigger insecurity in this person where they don't feel like they kingpin because of so many options that you have. So they may feel like they can't measure up to those options, so they just leave you at. Like even sometimes, like, you know how they had that renter where they rent like luxury cars? A motherfucker know they can't afford the insurance, they can't afford the payments, they can't afford that motherfucking luxury ass car. So a motherfucker will rent that luxury ass car for the night, for the day, for the week, whatever, and send that shit back. So that's kind of like how they see Barbie chicks. Like, man, I can't afford you. I'm going to taste test you and then I'm going to put you back. I'm going to put you down. You see what I'm saying? The Toyota, I can afford the insurance. I can afford the car payments. I can afford the parts. Like if that motherfucker break down. So this is really all about what the fuck you can afford. Okay. So I'm going to keep that. But that motherfucking Jaguar, I can only rent that motherfucker and I'm going to set that shit back down. Like that's the energy. So yeah, that's the energy. That's all I got for that. Y'all have a good day and have a good night. I don't know what happened, so I'm just gonna finish my commentary because I was still channeling after I put the cards up, and I was still channeling after like the video was over with. So I was at work just doing work and channeling, and I wrote down in my book because I couldn't really like this is kind of why I hate the little time crunch, or you know, I hate it because like when I channel, I don't really like the superficial channel. Like I like to deep channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to scratch the surface. So, but here's my notes here. I kind of like took it as like pretty girl hate. It's pretty girl hate. Okay. But I got the message of like, okay, so men want to be the star of the show. Okay, they don't want to compete for the spotlight. Men don't want to compete for the spotlight. So, as a woman, you have to take yourself down. Like, I hate to say this. I'm going to get into some things, okay, before I drive off and go grocery shopping. But, like, you have to dim your light, or you have to take a step down as a woman for the man to take the step up. Okay, for the men, because they like the spotlight. I know this sounds motherfucking crazy, but men like the spotlight. They don't really like to share the spotlight with a woman. Okay, they don't really like that. Especially more traditional men. Like I don't. If there was a study done too, like where it said that men that normally are married, or men that normally, I guess, traditional and they're married, like at the job force, they could be a little bit prejudiced because they feel like, you know, women should be doing feminine jobs. They don't feel like women should be doing masculine jobs. So they could have a bit of prejudice against, or discriminatory thoughts against women, especially if you're more feminine, pretty, glamorous, a Barbie chick. Okay, so if you're more of a masculine type of female, or more of you're not as attractive, or more of a plain Jane, like, you get taken more serious. But if you're like, it's a study done on this. It's a study done on this, y'all. Like, there's literally discrimination against pretty women in masculine dominated fields. Okay. You can go look the shit up. You can go look it up. Or if it's like a masculine dominated position, like, there's discrimination against pretty girls, against feminine women. Okay. There's this underestimating of pretty women, okay, of feminine women, of women, all right. And two, a lot of people tend to think that a lot of guys tend to think, and women too, like, tend to think like that. I don't know what's that girl's name that played in that cartoon character, and she was on Roger Rabbit, like, and she was real sexy and seductive and just oozed sex appeal. Like, she was gorgeous too. I can't think of her name, but she played on Roger Rabbit. Okay, think of her. Okay, that's how people see Barbies. That's how people see baddies. That's how people see them. Like, they see them as being up to no good. They see them as being a red siren. They see them as like trying to seduce or flirt or trying to use their looks or beauty to fucking get ahead. Some people may even assume that you got where you got because you're pretty or pretty privilege. And I've been trying to tell motherfuckers, like, stop always talking about that pretty privilege. Yeah, pretty does come with perks. It does come with perks, but it can also put you at a disadvantage. It can also put you at a fucking disadvantage as a woman. So let's not just talk about the pretty, the so-called pretty privilege. Let's talk about the downsides of also being extremely attractive, being extremely gorgeous, being above average, being better looking than most of the fucking populace. Okay, let's talk about it. Being a Barbie, because like I said, in this day and age, any bitch could be a fucking 10 nowadays, because they got plastic surgery, they got fucking makeup and weave and all that shit. So any bitch could make herself a 10. Now, I will say this: if you're a woman that's more naturally pretty, when you fucking do the whole, dress up, heels, makeup, and wig, like, and you're gonna be drop fucking dead gorgeous. Okay, now if you're a bitch that's ugly, okay, and you do the whole makeup thing and all that other stuff, then like you're gonna look pretty, but you're not gonna be like drop dead gorgeous like someone who's naturally pretty. Okay, so back to what I was saying. All right, now some can, because I done seen it. Depends on how good you do your magic, girl. Some can, because I done seen it. But yeah, so with that Six of Wands energy that I got, so you got to think about in nature, right? So if you ever notice in nature, think of the peacock and think of the lion and think of the lion's mane. A lot of the men in nature are the ones that like is fancy, is extra. The girls in nature are plain Janes. You see what I'm saying? Pay attention to that. Like, if you ever notice, all the male species in nature, like, they're pretty. If you ever notice, like, they got the nice feathers, the beautiful big mane, and then the girl just sitting over there playing. And it's crazy because the guy is peacocking. I like to call it peacocking. So the guy is showing his elaborate feathers, or showboating his strength, or showboating his mane, the lion's mane, you know what I'm saying, in order to impress the female, in order to get the bitch, in order to get the girl. The girl sitting there plain as fucking day, ain't gotta do nothing. The dude is sitting up here trying to win her over, showing he's the better male and he deserves to be breed to deserve his bloodline to continue. Okay, so you got to think about that. In nature, that's what males are. Males in nature naturally take the fucking spotlight. Okay, women in nature are more so the incubators, more so the mother, the nurturing, more so the background. Okay, that's not always a bad thing, but like, that's just how it's been. Okay, yeah. So naturally, if you're a woman, right? Because a lot of women seem to forget that in human culture, in human species, human nature, the woman's looks is her currency. The same way a man's money is his currency, or his degrees, or the house he got, the car he drives, depending on the culture, it could be how tough he is. Like in the hood, it's all about how gangster you fucking is. You know what I'm saying? In the hood. So if you got money too, yeah, that counts. But for the most part, if it's about like grit, iron, toughness, stuff like that, like gun toting type shit. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, you know. In other cultures, it's about the man's degrees. It's about the money he has, the car he drives, all that shit. Okay, is he a good man? Is he a bad man? All that shit. But for the most part, okay. Now the woman looks is her currency for the most part. And if you good in bed, like that's even better. Okay. But her looks is her currency. Okay. So the woman really don't really have to have shit. Now these days, you know, times are changing. Now they want, you know, women to have, you know, more than just a pretty face nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And that just depends on the culture that you go to, because that's not even really a global thing. Like, like in American culture, that's a thing, you know, or Americanized foreigners, that becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying? But for a lot of the world, like, you as a woman, you don't gotta have shit. Like, your beauty is really your currency. Like, you having a degree or some money, well, for certain cultures, you having a degree and some money, that like puts you on top of the food chain. So let's say you're not the prettiest chick, right? You're not the prettiest, but you got money, you got a degree. Okay, that kind of puts you up. That moves you, bumps you up a bit. Okay, if you're not that pretty. But if you're very fucking pretty, like I'm talking about, you look better than motherfucking 90% of the populace of women. Okay, you some Marilyn Monroe type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta have shit. Your beauty is your currency. Your looks is your currency. Your looks is your fucking degree. So, a lot of people be mad about that. But, like, women literally get rich off of their looks. Bitches get rich off of their looks. Can get rich off of their looks. What do you guys think fucking is stripping? What? Yeah, the girls can dance, but like, it's their looks. It's their looks. That's women's currency. You see what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Guys can make money off of their looks too, but not as much as a female. For the most part, people don't really care about a man's look overall. It's how smart he is, what car he drive, what's his social strata, like his personality type shit. Like, that's you know, a girl. You ever heard when Nicki Minaj is like, I'm a baddie B, I don't even know how to speak. Like literally. A bitch don't even have to think if she don't want to. You like, but we gonna get past that, okay? So yeah, but in nature, the man is peacocky. The man is the show. He's the show. Okay, the woman's the plain Jane in nature. So when you ask, why do decent guys, right? And that's highly subjective, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So when you ask what decent guys, right? Why do decent guys cuff plain Jane? Because a lot of them don't like to be fucking outshined. I'm gonna get into this, okay? Because the Six of Wands, that's that Leo energy. That's that, like, they want this is why men are attracted to minors too. Like, this is why they're attracted to underage girls, or young women. Okay, it's not always underage. I'm gonna cut that one because I ain't trying to get blocked. But like, this is why they're attracted to, because they like to be admired and looked up to. Like, they like for the woman to be amazed by them. Okay, that's that Six of Wands energy. Like to follow them, to look up to them as a fucking leader. And if you're a bitch that already got all your shit together, what the fuck can you look up? Like, I was telling this one girl this, like, cause she was like, you know, I still need a man. Like, she had her own everything. I said, bitch, you need a man for what? What? You need him to guide you for what? Guide you for how? You already got the bag. You already got a successful career. You look damn good. Like, guide you how, bitch? You have it all. What the fuck is he gonna do for you? The most thing that man could probably do for you is be dick. Let's keep it a buck. Is be dick. Okay, and tell you a bunch of romantic lies. That's the most that a nigga can be for you. But I guarantee you, because men be in competition with their women. Okay? They be in competition with their women. Okay? That's why they always tell women to either date above your status, and this includes looks too. Because a woman's looks is her fucking currency. Remember that. Okay? To date above your level or at. They not saying that for no reason. Because the men don't really like to be outshined. So if you're the type of female who don't like to dim your lights, okay? If you're a type of female that don't like that shit, you're going to have to get with a male who's 10 times ahead of you. Because you being yourself is not going to be a threat to him. It's not going to be a threat to him. Okay? So, and I also want to get into this because I was channeling and I got this other message as well. So this girl's decent. How he treats that particular woman when he cuffs that plain Jane, is not another woman's decent. So what I mean by that is, like, how he may treat her does not guarantee that he's going to treat you that way. So we can get into all this what ifs and whatevers, right? But how he treats that woman, that plain Jane that he cuffed, there's not a guarantee that he is going to treat you the same way. The same man that can be fucking a good man can also be a dog. Depending on a woman. And a lot of it, and I don't even want to say depending on a woman, because it's really depending on his self-esteem. If we're going to be for real. It's depending on his self-esteem if we're going to be for real. Okay? So, let me see. Let me get back to my notes, because I had got a lot of messages at once and I tried to write down what I could. Because this is really what it is, okay? So yeah, this is really what it is. That's really what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna break this down, okay, for why. Now remember, everything boils back down to perception. Perception is tied into can be tied into your insecurities, or it just depends on, like, how you see yourself. So, like, if a man don't see himself as that great, then his perceptions about certain situations won't be that great, or he may interpret something. You get what I'm saying? So, like, okay, I'm about to break it down. Okay. So, the decent guys that you looking at, right? Let's say you're a 10. Let's say you're a 10, you're a 9, or you're 8. Let's say those are the high, those are the baddies, okay? So let's say, you're a 10 or you're a 9 or you're a 8, right? And you're a glam doll, you're a Barbie, or whatever the case may be, okay? Now, the average man might associate you with being high maintenance. They may associate you with, like, luxury. They may associate, she only date ballers. They may associate you with all that things, okay? Now, depending on this man's self-esteem, okay? So if this man, isn't top tier in his own eyes, because being top tier is all about your perception of yourself. Little do people know, not what other people dub you as, but what you dub you as, what you feel you're capable of, what you think you deserve, okay? It boils back all down to perception, okay, and energy. So when when you're looking at those decent guys, right? And let's say look wise, god damn it, I'm gonna use cars. I don't know why I love using cars, but I'm gonna use cars. Okay. So let's say we're gonna call the guy we're gonna call him Toyota. Because that's what he can afford. That's where his self-esteem is at. His self-esteem is at the level of a fucking Toyota. Okay? And he's perceiving that because you take care of yourself, you look good, you put effort into your looks, he's assuming that you're a Jaguar. Okay? You know, Jaguars are really expensive, really high maintenance. Their parts is expensive. Like, you gotta have some motherfucking bread to get in a motherfucking Jaguar. So from this man's eyes, you're a Jaguar and he's a Toyota. So you're a Jaguar going to this Toyota. This nigga that can only afford a Toyota. Okay? And this is what's gonna happen. So that same decent man, okay, that same decent man, right, in order for him to feel mighty, in order for him to be in that Six of Wands energy, in order for him, right, to love you, he's gonna have to cut you down. Because naturally, you being a gorgeous ass woman or putting effort into your looks, you're going to steal the show. You're going to steal the spotlight. He's going to get jealous because he's going to see, wow, all these men are gawking at you. This is an insecure male, okay? He's going to be like, man, all these men are gawking at you. He's going to see all that shit as competition and somebody that can take you away from him. And if he doesn't feel like he measures up with the top dogs, he's going to have to, in his mind, cut you down. Cut your self-esteem down. Or get you to stop doing what you're doing. Like, stop wearing your makeup. Stop wearing your weave. Stop dressing up. He wants you to dress like a motherfucking granny. Because this is the way that he will feel comfortable. That no other man will want you. Okay? So he feels confident now. Because if your self-esteem is low to where you think that this is what you deserve or that this is the best that you could get, that man confidence boosts. It rises. Okay? So that same decent man that may cuff that plain Jane. That plain Jane is at his self-esteem. Okay? May cuff that plain Jane because he feel like he don't have to worry about competing. Okay? His girl getting taken away. He don't have to worry about that. So he feels content and he feels confident now that he has that plain Jane. Okay? But if you're a Barbie chick, he's going to try to make you be non-glamorous because being glamorous attracts more suitors. Okay? And he feel like you're going to trade him in for an upgrade. So what's the way that he can keep his gorgeous Barbie person? Is to tear her down. Make her think that he's the best that she can get. So that same decent man then becomes toxic. This is all about self-esteem and perception at the end of the day. And sometimes this is why people should mind their business. This is why you should mind your business. Because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Everybody loves to make it seem like their shit is popping on social media. Their relationship is popping on social media. Whole time the nigga could be cheating, could be in the transgenders or something. Like, he could be doing a lot of shit that you don't see behind the scenes. They're not going to show you that. Why? Because people are quick to show their glory, but they're not quick to expose their pain. They're not quick to expose their flaws. Okay? Because they want to appear a certain way to the masses. Okay, but here's the other message that I had channeled as well. So the issue here that I'm seeing with the Barbies who was like, man, why are, you know, the uglies or the plain Janes getting, you know, good men or whatever the case may be. All right. So the issue is that you're a Jaguar. Asking why a man who can only afford a Toyota. You're asking why a man who can only afford a Toyota, why he don't want you? He can't afford you. Okay, now keep in mind, this is an analogy, so don't think that it's just about materialism. It's not. This is just the best way that I can explain it. Okay, all right. It's really energy, okay, and self-esteem and perception. That's what it really boils down to. Okay, and the average man is very insecure, very fucking insecure. Like, their egos are fragile as fuck, fragile as fuck. Fragile as fuck. Okay, a nigga saying hello to you can break a man's ego. Now he gotta go cheat to rebuild that shit up. Like, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Okay, so they got a budget, right? So wait, what did I say? They don't got that budget. Yeah, they don't got that budget, and they don't want to be showed up. Okay, so you gotta look for men who know that they can outbeat any competition. Okay, this is energetically wise. Okay, you gotta look for men that is sure of their worth, or you need an emperor, not a king or a knight. Okay, so for women who are Barbies, you need a guy that yeah, that's what you need. Okay, so with the king or a knight, you know, stop looking for love in your environment and go to the environment where emperors dwell. Okay, for example, a Jaguar isn't going to shine in a middle class community. The Toyota is the only thing that community could do, right? That they could afford. So the Toyota is going to outsell more than the Jaguar. Okay, keep in mind, the Barbies is a Jaguar, right? Okay, however, if you go to an affluent neighborhood, okay, the Jaguar is going to be bought. Okay, so you accept what you think you deserve. The long story short, a motherfucker accept and go for what they think they deserve, what they think they can get, which shows their level of self-esteem. I don't believe in a person being out of my league. I used to, but I don't believe in a person being out of my league. How? Okay, so basically, Barbies, you're a Jaguar, right? So you're a Jaguar, and guys just go window shop. Yeah, nice to look at, but they ain't gonna pick it up because their budget is a Toyota. I don't know if that makes sense, but make it make sense, goddammit. Like, that's really what it is. They window shop. They look at you. Oh yeah, so nice, so shiny, so pretty, and put your ass back because they only got a Toyota budget. So that's why they cuff long-term plain Janes. No tea, no shade to the plain Janes, because a plain Jane can very well be a fucking Jaguar. But I am going off of perception and what what men perceive according to aesthetics. Okay. So, these guys that cuff these plain Janes, they have a certain perception about Barbies, and they feel like that they never really had you. It was just their turn. Like, that's what they feel. So would you overly cuff or invest in a woman who you feel could easily be taken away because so many guys want her, and you know you're not the cream of the crop? Like, just put yourself in their shoes. All right. So, next. Men will respond two ways, okay, when they want to keep you as theirs and have you not wandering off for better, okay? So, the first way that certain men do, is he gonna cut you down in size, abuse or belittle you, and make you think that you not it, and play reverse psychology. Okay, now I want you to understand, this is what Spirit said to me. Okay, so what you accept is what you think that you deserve. So when a person doesn't fully know the extent of their worth, if you go for somebody, all right, This is what you think you deserve. But when you are unhappy or this brings you misery, your partner knows you could do better. That's why they're cutting you down, to keep you by their side. They know that you could do better. So you don't know that you could do better. Because why are you there? So anytime that you're in a relationship and you accept a relationship with someone, but it's not really fulfilling to you, or it doesn't make you happy, or it cuts you down, it steals your joy, that spirit telling you that you need to raise your price. You need to raise your standards. The more that you fucking get hurt, that means you deserve better. What you thought you deserved, no, bitch, you deserve more. You deserve more than that. That's why that shit didn't work out. Every time that you get hurt, you need to raise your price. You need to raise it. Every time. Okay? This is what spirit sent to me, okay? Because I was telling this to my coworkers at work. It just came to me, okay? Like, whatever you think you deserve, you're gonna go for that, right? You're gonna go for that. You're gonna accept that person. You're gonna accept that job, whatever the case may be. You're gonna accept that because that's what you feel like you deserve. That's what you feel like you could get. That's what you feel like your worth is, right? But when you go into that job, or you go with that person, or you go with that connection, and that connection drains you, that means what you think you deserve, you're underbidding yourself. So spirit or God is trying to protect you and trying to get you better by having you sever the ties with something that you once thought that you deserved, that you once thought that you was worth. So when you see that you're sad and this person is like not it for you, like, that's not what you deserve. You deserve more than what you think you deserve. So raise the price. Every time you get hurt, raise the price. That's what spirit is trying to get you. Some females, they don't get it. So they let a male break them, right? They let a male tarnish them and dim their fucking. Then, I don't know what happened, but they let a male tarnish them and dim their light. And then when they, leave that relationship, they choose even worse. Or they go backwards. They choose even worse. Or they choosing the same type of niggas. And it's like, that's not how that's supposed to end, sis. When you go into a relationship and you think that's what you deserve going into it, you think this is the best I can do. Spirits is telling you, no, bitch, you could do better. That's why the connection doesn't work out. That's why the man is trying to dim your light, because even he knows you can do better. So if even the nigga that you with knows you can do better than him, why are you there? That means you do not know your worth. So when that connection is sabotaged, right? When that connection is sabotaged, that means that you need to raise the bar, raise your standards. You can get more than what you think you can get. That's what that means on a spiritual level. A lot of people only look at shit from a earthly realm, from an earthly 2D realm. They don't see the energetic or the bigger picture of it. Right? Okay, so the second thing that a man is going to do, so you won't wander off, okay? He'll either do, the toxic way, or he'll do the way where he's going to love and shower you and make sure you want for nothing. What some people call simping. So he's going to simp, okay, so as to make it hard for you to leave him, like you not going to find any better. So this man, he's going to apply pressure. So that's the two ways that a man will respond, okay, if he perceives you as being out of his league, okay. So the second way that the man responds, that this man is going to be grateful for you, is see your worth, okay. He's not going to take you for granted. He's not going to take you for granted. So those are the two ways that guys will respond, okay? But a man that feels like he cannot compete, right? He don't got a motherfucking chance in hell. He is never gonna pick up your Barbie ass. You're looking at the wrong fucking man. You're looking at the wrong man. You need to go in environments, okay, where dudes got empires, where dudes got businesses, where dudes are confident, where dudes get shit done, okay, where dudes can carry and handle a fucking family, can carry and handle the fact that a lot of niggas is gonna be on your twat. And he ain't gonna give a fuck. You know why? Because none of them dudes is him. Okay? None of them guys are him. These are the kind of men that you energetically need. Because I don't feel like women get it. Like, your currency is your beauty. So the way that a man perceives you is based off your beauty. Nothing else. Not the car you drive. Not unless he's hypergamous and he's trying to use you for money or some shit. That's what he care about that. You know what I'm saying? Or he need help. If he need help building his empire, then that's the only reason he gonna care about that. Okay. But a man that can't carry that shit on his own, why would you even want him? Like, why? But that answers the question. They cuff Plain Janes because guys like the spotlight. So if you want them, you're going to have to take a step down, or you're going to have to dim your fucking light. You're going to have to dim your lights. I'm sorry, sis. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to dim your lights. Okay? They cuff the Plain Janes because that's their energetic level. They want somebody to look up to them, to see them as the man, to where they don't have a lot of males chasing after this female, so they assume, because she don't look like that. Sometimes not being chosen is a blessing in disguise, okay? So a lot of guys, they may window shop, they may have sex with you and drop you, okay? Because they can't afford the fucking tab. Like, that's literally all that it is. So to answer your question, this is why they cuff Plain Janes and not Barbies. But Barbies get cuffed. Barbies get cuffed. You're looking at the wrong type of man. You're a Jaguar asking why the fuck a Toyota can't afford you. Cause he's a fucking Toyota. He's got a Toyota salary. That motherfucker can't afford a Jaguar. It's not in his tax bracket. That's why. You're looking at the wrong man. You're looking at the wrong man. You're in the wrong environment. You're in the wrong community. That's why. That's why. The motherfucker can't buy what they can't afford. I can't give you something not in my motherfucking pocket. Not in my budget. I can't give that. Okay? And two, a lot of Plain Janes are willing to do more for less. And some of these decent men that you think are decent, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a chick to accept the bare minimum and yet give her all, not know her worth, basically. That's what they looking for. They looking for you to do $20 an hour quality work of labor, right? But yet only pay you $5 an hour. That's what they be looking for. Okay? So, because a man is like that, right? Try to get more for less. You want to aim high. So that way his less is a lot to you. His less is an upgrade, goddammit. His less is buying you a car, a house, love and cherish, whatever the fuck. That's why you start high. You start high. So when that man, gets comfortable and start dipping and applying pressure, that dip it's still you gonna be spoiled and everything because you started off high. A lot of women start right here, and then they think that it's only gonna get worse from that because of how the men operate. It's only gonna get worse from that. You don't start from here. You start from here. You start from here, and when he drops down to here, you still gonna be spoiled and you still gonna be good because you started from here. But when you start from here, bitch, you going into negative. He about to go in the negative. He about to give you less and less and less, bitch, to where you gonna be bitter and in a relationship. Like, I wish I could get my motherfucking time back. You gonna be sitting up there jealous of the bitch that man giving her the world. But that's your own fault because you started from here instead of here. That was my channel message. So y'all looking at the wrong niggas, first of all. Good niggas also cuff Barbies, according to spirits. But you're looking at the wrong niggas. That's why. That's why. You're looking at the wrong dudes. Okay? And this is not just about money or status. This is also about energy and confidence. You gotta get with a man who feels like, first of all, he's not gonna take it for granted. He gonna feel lucky to have you, okay? He not gonna take it as a slight to who he is. You get what I'm saying? But second of all, he's gonna feel comfortable having you. He's gonna feel like, I deserve this woman. This is why some men have placeholders, and then when they get where they need to get, like if they feel like they gotta have money or whatever the case may be, when they get that, finally when they get that status, they trade in their wife for a new wife. They get an upgrade. So some of these plain Janes that they're cuffing are placeholders. They're placeholders. That's my video.